It's March 12, 2013, and the Orlando Magic faithful weren't exactly rolling out the red carpet for their former star, Dwight Howard. When Dwight Howard was introduced at the AM Center, the entire city of Orlando let their feelings be known. How did we even get here though? It seems like Dwight was following in Shaquille O'Neal's footsteps, being at Orlando and transitioning to the Lakers after making the finals.
I don't care what Shaq says. Shaq played the game, he's done.
But well, that wasn't quite the case. Firstly, loss of faith in coach Stan Van Gundy. Dwight expressed to his agent Rich Paul at the time that he believed Van Gundy had lost his voice in the locker room. This indicates that Howard felt the team's players were no longer responding to Van Gundy's coaching, and that's ultimately why that team split up. Because remember, this was an NBA Finals team who matched up against Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that Dwight went on to play for. And no, it wasn't quite the exact same team. The goal in mind was to win a championship for the Lakers. That is why they secured Steve Nash. That is why they kept Powell and Metta and brought in Dwight Howard with Kobe. They had real championship aspirations, but it just wasn't meant to be. But nevertheless, it wasn't personal against Stan. Howard clarified that his concern about Van Gundy's effectiveness as a coach was definitely not a personal issue. He didn't want Stan fired or have any ill will towards him. Instead, he saw a need for change in the team's leadership. Howard was ready for a change in his own playing situation. He formally requested a trade from the Magic to the Dallas Mavericks or the Brooklyn Nets, according to general manager Oda Smith at the time. Howard and Smith were accommodating and told him on the first day of training camp he was going to be traded to the Brooklyn Nets to team up with Deron Williams, a longtime friend of Dwight Howard's. And this Nets team had proven to go somewhat far with Deron there, leading at the forefront. I only could imagine what could have been for this team.
The deal that would have sent Dwight Howard to the Nets is dead. The man who broke the story, Rick Bucher, joins us now here on SportsCenter.
Quick history repeat of the Orlando Magic. They've had plenty of great teams before Dwight was selected first overall out of high school in the 2004 draft. Firstly, the Penny Shack finals run team against Hakeem and Clyde. They lost, but that was a young potential dynasty in the making in 1998. Then moving on to T-Mac and Grant Hill, the team that was never really meant to be from 2001 to 2007. Obviously, Grant Hill had his injury-riddled past, and he was never the next MJ. Nevertheless, one of the all-time greats, but his all-time great career was spoiled because of injuries, and as was T-Mac Tracy McGrady. Dwight was the franchise cornerstone, the one to bring them a potential NBA championship, the first one in their history, and he came that close against Kobe and the Lakers, the team he ended up joining just like former big man Shaquille O'Neal. So, no surprises Orlando fans, they did not take this lightly. Let's rewind to Dwight Howard's first game back at Orlando. Dwight Howard walked in with a smile on his face, and the boos just bounced off him like they were nothing. With the pre-game theatrics behind us, let's talk about the game itself. Whether he was scoring or altering shots, Howard remained focused on the task at hand, beating the Magic and pissing off every fan in the arena. The game, it went somewhat like this. Dwight Howard would score 39 points and have 16 rebounds. He went to the line 39 times, tying his record for most free throw attempts. He would sink 25 of those, and he would shoot 64% from the line, which at the time was pretty damn good for Dwight Howard. Kobe Bryant would score a modest 11 points, but it was clear that it was all about getting Dwight the ball, as it was the Dwight return game. Forget the scoring numbers for a moment. In just over 2 minutes in the second quarter, Howard had already attempted 17 free throws. Orlando, they just had no match for Dwight Howard. I mean, it was simply Hacker Dwight out there. You put Nikola Vucevic on him as a rookie, Dwight's given him that work, and Carlo Quinn was simply too small. I thought it was a cool story to touch on just because of how underrated I think Dwight Howard's career has been as a whole. People forget, Dwight took this team to the finals. He was like a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year and one of the best players to ever play this game and one of the best centers of all time. And it's a shame they didn't put him on that all-time 75 list. He easily deserves to be on that list. till this day, nothing's really changed for the Orlando Magic. I mean, when you go over their top picks in the past, Victor Oladipo, Aaron Gordon, Mario Hezonja, Domantas Sabonis, none of those guys have stayed a part of the organization and have went on to go to other teams. Not so much Mario, but the other three, and have had some real success. But there are two players moving forward who could be marquee players in the NBA, and that is none other than Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, specifically Banchero. I mean, Paolo, he's the anomaly in this circumstance. And they finally get their franchise cornerstone that they've been looking for since Dwight Howard. Someone who wants to be a part of the organization from the ground up, and potentially he could be the face of the NBA one day. Because Shaq, Penny, Dwight, Grant Hill, T-Mac, they never could be, and their days at Orlando, they were all short-lived. Despite the fact that you could argue all these guys were at the peak of their powers in their prime at the Orlando Magic, they all had very short careers there. So there you have it, folks, Dwight Howard's epic return to Orlando as a Laker. It was a night to remember, from the boos to the brilliance. It had everything a basketball fan could ask for, well, except for the Orlando Magic fans. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more exciting basketball content, and let us know in the comment section any return games that you would like to see a video on. At 1,000 subscribers, we're giving away a free NBA jersey. The details of that will be in the description down below. So if you do want to check that out, make sure you guys subscribe first and then check out the details. But for now, stay bowling, guys. This is Marcus from the Bench Mob, and we'll see you guys next time.